Hello and welcome to this series. So in this series, I am going to be going over the 5 pillars that we absolutely need to address when it comes to weight loss for PCOS. So this video is going to be on blood sugar balance. Now, this one is very, very important for women with PCOS, and that's because 70% of women with PCOS are also insulin resistant. Now, this is when your blood sugar is very out of balance. So we'll talk about what insulin resistance is in just a minute. But a lot of times what happens is we'll go to the doctor, we'll get told that we're insulin resistant, that we are pre-diabetic or that we're diabetic, and they don't really explain what that means, how we should eat, how we should exercise, and women just sort of leave more confused than when they came in because not only do they have PCOS, they're also insulin resistant. So we're going to talk about what that means and why balancing your blood sugar is so important. Now, there's no official cause or known cause to insulin resistance, but contributing factors can be lifestyle, diet, already being obese, genetics, things like that. So insulin resistance is when your cells no longer recognize insulin. Now, what this means is that the energy, after you've broken down your food turns into glucose. Now, glucose is what your cells use in order to get energy. And insulin is what tells that glucose to go into the cells. It tells your cells, I'm putting glucose in there. What happens when you become insulin resistant is your cells no longer recognize that insulin. So not only are your cells not recognizing the insulin, but the glucose is not going into your cells and your pancreas starts to create more and more insulin. So you've got extra glucose, extra insulin. So this usually happens, like I said, it can happen because of diet. So what happens when we're told, we're insulin resistant, we need to balance our blood sugar, is your doctor will recommend maybe a low carb diet or keto. And that's because carbs are our body's first source of energy. So eating less processed carbs that are going to spike your blood sugar, that are going to cause a lot of glucose to go into your bloodstream. That's why they recommend those low carb diets. Now, we don't want to demonize carbs, and we will get into that definitely later. But what we do want to do is eat to balance blood sugar, because when we're working on balancing your blood sugar, then you can work on your insulin levels and your glucose levels as well. Now, symptoms that come along with unbalanced blood sugar are weight gain, obviously, feeling hungry after you've just eaten, having these energy crashes, having these cravings, stress, increased cortisol, and increased testosterone, which we will talk about in the next videos in this series. But these symptoms sort of make sense now because you're feeling hungry because your cells aren't getting the energy, so they think you haven't eaten. And same thing goes with the energy and the craving. So that insulin resistance, not having your blood sugar balanced, is going to cause those cravings to get worse. It can cause increased weight gain, increased stress, all of those things that we just talked about. Now, some of the things that I have my clients focus on when I work with them to help them balance their blood sugar are making sure that you get a good source of protein and fat at each meal. This helps your blood sugar from spiking. It helps you to feel full. And so this is a really easy way to make sure you are working to balance your blood sugar. Now, on the flip side of that, we talked about how a lot of times women are told to try low carb or keto. We don't want to demonize carbs. We still want to eat carbs, just not the more processed kind or the simple carbs that are going to spike your blood sugar. We want to make sure that you're eating carbs that are a good source of fiber. So vegetables are really good for that. Beans are really good for that. Really making sure, again, you're getting the fat, the protein, and the fiber. So that way you're working to balance your blood sugar. And then in terms of exercise, we want to make sure we are exercising for blood sugar balance as well. So that doesn't mean burning as many calories as possible, because that is not going to help with your blood sugar. I'm talking more about things like HIIT, like high intensity interval training, and weightlifting, because those are going to help more with blood sugar balance. Whereas something like long sessions of cardio can actually make insulin resistance worse, because they can put stress on your body, which will affect your insulin. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. I am looking forward to sharing with you information about the rest of the pillars. And if you want to learn more about this, or if you want more help when it comes to working to balance your blood sugar and lose weight with PCOS, then I encourage you to click the button and pick a time to chat with me so we can talk about your situation, your PCOS, the underlying causes like blood sugar imbalances, and how I can help you in overcoming those.